Welcome to Turbo Times. I'm your host, Turbo. Here on Turbo Times, we discuss and educate you on cryptocurrencies and the technology behind it, blockchain. We discuss anything from the latest news driving the crypto markets to the philosophy behind the creation of Bitcoin. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, do us a favor, hit the like and subscribe button down below. It's free for you and it really helps the channel grow. It'd mean a ton to me. Thank you very much in advance. Also, you can send us your questions in the comments. If you have any questions over something that we've covered, or if there's something that we didn't cover that you'd like us to, leave that in the comment section below as well. I do read and respond to every single one. So without further ado, let's get started with today's show. All right, so like I said, in our last show, the format of Turbo Times is going to be, we're going to talk about news and price. Next, we're going to talk about any questions that we had from yesterday and any cleanup from yesterday. Then we'll go with our educational topic of today. And today's is going to be hopefully pretty fun for you and educational. It's the difference between traditional banking versus cryptocurrency exchanges. And then lastly, I'll do a quick update on me personally if anything is required or there's any news to report. So, all right, first of all, for the price action for the market today, the market is up 3.5% on the 24-hour. We're currently holding just above 1 trillion on the market cap, which is great, kind of consolidating right there. Bitcoin is also up, sitting right around 33,700 per coin, and we're up 3.7% on the weekly. And Ethereum is up 7.2% on the 24-hour to 13,300, and then also 3.7% on the weekly. So market's looking good for crypto. In the news today, not a whole lot of big news in the crypto world, but I will touch on the XRP pump and dump, as I'll call it. And essentially what happened there was all the Reddit users that drove the GameStop stock decided that they would come together and drive the XRP token price supposed to start today at 8:30 in the morning. Well, it kind of ended up happening throughout the night. Last night, it went from 29 cents all the way as high as 77 cents on some exchanges. So huge pump, but then it deflated throughout most of the day. It didn't hold. Apparently, people weren't as sold on the idea, so people started taking profits. And in my opinion, that's why you don't invest based on market sentiment. In other words, there's two reasons a price fluctuates either up or down. One is sentiment or feeling, and the other is fundamentals. And nothing fundamentally has changed with the XRP token, the XRP ledger. There's no more new news about the SEC suing Ripple Labs. XRP ledger hasn't announced any more, good news or bad news either way. So the fundamentals did not change, therefore the price should not have fluctuated as much, but it did based on sentiment, and that's the catch-22. So if you want to trade in the cryptocurrency market, there is some massive gains to be made, but I'm not a trader, I'm an investor. I look for things where the fundamentals are there. The growth potential is slower, but much more steadier. So if you're a trader, good luck. There's plenty of those options out there. And if you were part of the XRP pump and dump, hopefully you got out at the top and didn't buy in at the top. But really, as far as news in today's market, that's there was one other little piece, and actually that'll bring us into our next little bit, which is the questions from our subscribers. And today we've got a great question from Anna. Thank you, Anna. And Anna writes, what do you think about India making a law to not allow cryptocurrencies to be owned by their citizens in their country? And do I think the U.S. might do the same? Well, Anna, first of all, like I said, great question. Thank you. Well, so it was actually, bottom line is it's FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because India did not create a law today. A top politician in India announced the fact that they might sometime in the near future propose a law. So I'm not going to put too much stock in it because India has not proposed that law yet. We haven't even seen the black and white proposal yet. So first of all, they have to propose it in black and white, and then it has to be voted on. And until either one of those two things happen, I'm not going to put too much stock in it. And also considering the fact India over the last 18 months has kind of flip-flopped back and forth of whether or not they support cryptocurrencies and to what extent. So until we get some more clarity out of that, I'm just going to chalk it up as FUD. And second part of your question, will America do the same? Bottom line answer is no, I don't think they will. And the reason why is because there are too many centralized power figures that have invested into cryptocurrency within our borders already. PayPal's a great example of it. They've started offering cryptocurrency holdings for their users in America. They haven't even done it internationally yet. So once they do it internationally, by the way, it'll drive the price of those 4 cryptocurrencies that they're offering right now. Visa just announced today they're looking into doing the same. But again, I'll take that one with a grain of salt until they actually put something in black and white and do it, because Visa has made a similar announcement in the past, but it could be great news for the cryptocurrency markets as a whole, and especially for U.S. citizens that want to invest in cryptocurrency. It'll just make it easier to purchase it and to spend it. And there's quite a few other big name players out there that have started to, institutions that have started to invest in cryptocurrency. So if the politicians of this country want to make it illegal, they're going to have a very difficult time doing that. And even if they do, the politicians do create laws to strictly outlaw cryptocurrency used by the citizens, I think it'll go over like a lead balloon, much like Prohibition did with alcohol. Look at our war on drugs. Just because something is illegal in this country doesn't mean that people quit doing it. So, but we'll cross that bridge once we get to it. Same with the XRP SEC lawsuit. Who knows what will come out of that, but we'll cross that bridge once we get there. All right, let's move on. And really there wasn't anything to clean up from yesterday. Yesterday, or our last show anyway, we talked about the GME GameStop short squeeze, and I think I sufficiently beat that horse dead enough. So if you have any questions on it, though, let me know. Moving on. So our educational topic for today is traditional banking versus crypto exchanges. What we're going to talk about here real quick is the basic differences between the two, what to expect when setting up an exchange account, what to look for in an exchange, and then lastly, I'll touch on 4 of my recommendations for you if you want to begin investing in cryptocurrencies. You have several to choose from. Here in the U.S., we don't have as many as other parts of the world, but we have some solid ones here, and I'll touch on 4 that I recommend. How many is that? 4, and why. So first of all, the basic differences between traditional banking and cryptocurrency exchanges, they essentially do the same thing. So with traditional banking, what you're exchanging is the paper money, the little piece of rectangles, for the ability to spend those rectangles digitally. That's essentially what you're doing with traditional banking. While as cryptocurrency exchanges, you're exchanging the United States dollar, the fiat dollar, for a cryptographic currency. And then that gives you the ability to purchase any of the cryptocurrencies that particular exchange offers. And the other biggest difference is that most exchanges are not federally insured, meaning your funds aren't backed by the federal government like they are to bank. So users beware. Doesn't mean they're not secure, but they're not federally backed by the government. There are some exceptions, though. There are some crypto exchanges here in the U.S. that are federally backed. All right, what to expect when setting up a cryptocurrency exchange? It's very similar to setting up a bank account, except for you don't have to go in person. You can download an app or go online, and you're going to have to perform something called KYC. It's called Know Your Customer. The cryptocurrency exchange is going to ask you to verify that you are who you say you are via a means of federal state issued identification. You're going to have to submit a copy of that. You are obviously going to have to give them your banking account information so that you can fund your crypto account. And timeline, it's going to take anywhere from 24 hours for that whole process to happen, from the time you start it to you're ready to buy your first piece of a Bitcoin or Satoshi, to as many as about 5 days. Typically, though, I would expect it to be about 24 to 36 hours. And that can also change based on the current volume or demand, the new influx of users, as Voyager, which is one of the exchanges we'll talk about here in a second, recently experienced. They had a massive influx of new user adoption, people requesting to join their platform, and they were just simply unable to keep up. So they went from, on average, I think they were less than 24 hours to get you onboarded, to much more. I think it was close to 48 hours. So it depends on their volume at the time, but expect normally 24 to 36 hours. Now, what do you look for in an exchange? Well, there's a couple of things. We'll go over them, each one of them. So the security and the team behind it are kind of, in my opinion, they're the same thing. And obviously, there's a saying out there: the return of your money is more important than the return on your money. So whatever exchange you choose, it's got to be secure. Whatever money you put in there, you want to make sure you get it back, right? And that happens based on their prior performance, and also the team that's behind them, who built this exchange, what experience do they have, how much do they care about you. So security and team, that's the number one thing. What are their fees? Because they all charge a fee, just like the banking industry does. So when you buy a Bitcoin and then you go to sell it back to American dollars or whatever currency you choose, you're going to pay a fee for that, and not all exchanges are created equal. Some have higher fees than others. What's their customer support look like, as well as their uptime versus crash time? So those kind of go hand in hand. Customer support to me is huge. If you have a question or a problem, you want to know that you can reach out to somebody and they'll actually get back to you in a timely manner with a good answer. So always look for what their customer support looks like. And then something else you might be interested in is what tokens do they offer, because not all exchanges offer the same tokens. All of the exchanges offer the ability to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and a handful of others, but For example, Coinbase does not allow you to buy and sell or trade Dogecoin. So maybe you're somebody who wants to trade Dogecoin. Me, not personally, because Dogecoin doesn't have fundamentals. Dogecoin is speculative, so it's great for traders. If you want to go through that roller coaster, there's a great opportunity to make a lot of money very quickly there. But the obverse is true too, which is why I don't trade, I invest. So Dogecoin is not on my list, but if it's on yours, then you're going to have to pick an exchange that offers the ability to buy and sell it. So look for the tokens that exchange offers. And then another big thing I would look for is some exchanges will pay you interest to hold your cryptocurrency on their exchange, and they'll pay it out in different means. So for example, say you have $5,000 and you want to buy $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, and you do it on a platform. Some say good for you, and some say because you're keeping it on the platform, because you have an option, after you purchase it, you can then send it to a hardware wallet, or you could send it to another exchange. But if you keep it on their platform, they'll pay you an interest rate. And some of them are really good interest rates, 5, 8%, just to keep it on the exchange. So look for the interest rate paid, and it might be paid in US dollars. It might be paid in the native token that you hold. So if you hold Bitcoin, they'll pay it out in Bitcoin. If you hold Ethereum, they'll pay it out in Ethereum. And some will give you their own token. So like Voyager will give you Voyager token. So those are the things I would look for in an exchange. Security, the team that built it, what are their fees, what's their customer support look like, and their uptime versus crash time. I didn't cover that one as much, but so for example, Coinbase, you can pretty much count on Coinbase to go down every single time there's a huge influx in market activity. You're not going to be able to trade, you're not going to be able to buy, you're not going to be able to sell on Coinbase, because Coinbase 100% of the time always goes down unless you're an institutional investor. So look into that, or just be aware. If you're a long-term hodler, you don't care because you're not buying and selling every single day. But that's the uptime and downtime equation. What tokens they offer, and then interest paid. So look for those 5 things on an exchange when you go to get one. And then very lastly, I would also say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Sign up for multiple exchanges, so that way if one of them crashes forever, then not all of your holdings would be there. And also, if one of them goes down for, say, a week, you at least have another one to be able to buy and sell on. So, all right, lastly, let's talk about my recommendations. I'm just going to go over 4, and I'm going to go over them pretty briefly. There are quite a few others available to American citizens, and there's even more than that. If you're not in America, or if you want to look into the process of going around, and you can, I don't, and I don't recommend it either, but you can go around some of the barriers that we have here in the United States and sign up for some of those other exchanges. But here in the United States, we have some good ones to choose from, and the 4 that I recommend are Voyager, Celsius, Binance, and I hate to say it, but Coinbase. So let's talk about them real quick. First of all, my number 1 pick is Voyager, and the reason why is several-fold. First of all, their team is great. The CEO, he was the CEO and creator of E-Trade. So for one, he's got experience managing a multi-billion-dollar company, but that company comes from the financial industry sector, so I feel like he knows what he's doing. Their customer support is amazing, and also they are a brokerage and an exchange, and the difference there is kind of comparable to Hotels.com versus just Marriott, or Hotels.com versus just Holiday Inn. So you could call Holiday Inn and get their best rates for the night, and then call all the other individual hotels or you can just go to hotels.com and they check all the rates for you. Voyager does the same thing. So when you buy your first Bitcoin, Voyager will look at the exchange rates on all the different exchanges out there, all the ones they're partnered with, and they're partnered with hundreds, and they'll get the best rate for you. So that's another great reason to use Voyager. Their team's good. Their brokerage, they have quite a few tokens to trade, much more, many more than the other US-based exchanges. The Voyager token, which is the native token of the platform, their ticker symbol is VGX. They are set to explode this year. I was lucky enough, I bought in around 29-30 cents. I continue to buy it. We're just under $3 right now. All things are looking like Voyager token is going to hit close to $30 this year. So the upside to the Voyager token, which is one of the options you can choose to get your interest paid in, is huge. So Voyager, that's my number one pick. Next on the list is Celsius. And I like Celsius more for holding long term. And the reason why, their team is great. First of all, Alex Mashinsky, he's the creator of two things you may have heard of, Uber and Voice over IP, VoIP. So I feel like he knows what the heck he's doing. And he's just put together a really good team around him. They offer loans as well. You can take those out in US dollars, or you can borrow other cryptocurrency assets if you'd like, and they offer amazing rates. So if you wanted to go buy a new car or make some kind of big purchase, the best way to do it is on Celsius. And they pay out incredible interest rates for holding your tokens on there. They don't offer that many tokens to buy or hold on their platform, but if you're pretty much in the top 10 cryptocurrencies, they'll offer it, and they pay really good interest rates. And their native token, Celsius, is also doing extremely well, and it's set to probably have very good gains this year as well. Their ticker is CEL, if you want to look into that one. So number 3 on the list is Binance US. I wish it were Binance, because if Binance, the big company, operated here, they'd probably, I think Voyager would still be my number one for buying and selling, as an on-ramp. But Binance US is great. They got a good team behind them. They have good security. And what I really like about them is they're very easy to use. They're user-friendly. I'm not very techy at all, and their display on the screen on the computer, as well as the cell phone app, it's just very friendly, very easy to use. So Binance US is my third pick. I don't keep a lot on that exchange, but I do use them as an informational platform, and sometimes I do buy and sell there. And then very last on this short list is Coinbase, and the only reason Coinbase is on this list at all is because they are secure and they are pretty easy to use. The downside to Coinbase is that they go offline often because they cater more to institutional investors than they do the retail investors. So what that boils down to is when there's a huge influx in the cryptocurrency markets, and the markets are moving, which happens often here, that they're going to put all their support, energy, effort into their big money makers, the retail investors, and the little guy, you send them an email, they just don't even worry about it. They're not going to get back to you in a very timely manner. Like I said, they are secure, and your deposits there are federally insured, so that's another good reason. They're pretty darn secure, and their team is good. Brian Armstrong, he came from Airbnb, and Fred Urshman, they're the two creators. He came from Goldman Sachs, so they've got a pretty good team behind them. But again, I do not recommend them. Oh, also their fees are the worst. Their fees are just, that's all I can say about it. You pay the most, so, but they are easy enough to deal with, so there you go. That's my 4. Voyager, Celsius, Binance US. So if you go on the App Store or the Google Play Store and download the app, make sure you choose Binance US, and then Coinbase is the last one. I will work on getting affiliate links for all of those, and I'll put those in the description. So if you want to sign up for any of them, you can use my code and you'll get free money and I'll get free money. I'll put those links in the description below. And guys, really that wraps up the educational portion. So hopefully I've taught you a little bit of something about the difference between traditional banking and cryptocurrency exchanges, and why you might want to have a cryptocurrency exchange set up, and how to do it, and what to look for, and then a couple recommendations. Let me know what you think, which cryptocurrency exchanges you like. Let me know in the comment section below. Lastly, an update on me. To be honest with you, not a whole lot new to report. I got a scan last week. I was hoping to get the results today. Haven't got them. So I'll wait, and as soon as I know something, you'll know something. All right, guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end. Have a great rest of your night, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next one.